Alright there, welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin, and hello stranger for those that this is your first video. Today we are going to be talking about, this is a long time coming, this one, I've been keep meaning to get round to it and then never got round to it, but today I'm finally doing it. We are talking about one of my all-time favourite bands. What do I hold up? I'll tell you what, we'll hold up this first I suppose. This is the almighty Dark Angel. I discovered this band pretty late really. I was one when their first album came out, so obviously I would. I got into Dark Angel around the time, well, when I got into Death really, and Symbolic, and then around that time obviously there was Strapping Young Lads, and I became aware of who Gene Hoglan was, and it came up in a conversation that he originally came from a band called Dark Angel. Automatically I thought that's a cool name, you know, and thought nothing more of it really. And I was reading a Metallica book actually by Joel MacGyver, and he references Dark Angel in that, and let's focus that a bit. And yeah, he references Gene Hoglan's getting interviewed really. Was it Slayer? He wrote a couple of books. He did one on Metallica and one on Slayer. I think it might have been the Slayer one actually. He was more involved with Slayer. Do you know Gene Hoglan was once a roadie for Slayer. Even auditioned for him a couple of times as well. So yeah, it must have been that book. And he referenced then their awesome or amazing debut album, Darkness Descends. And yeah, a bit more I got intrigued. And then straight at one point, the three main albums were released, or reissued rather, on these. So I've got one unpacked already and I can be able to put it back in. And yeah, I'll open one here. So they come in these. I didn't play these for a while and these got stuck on. I thought I was going to damage them, but yeah, really cool. And then you get your and then you get your booklet there. Really cool editions. I've never seen anyone else do these. And yeah, I bought all three. I saw that they were coming out, and this was around the time Amazon. First time Amazon wasn't very old at this point, you know. And I think I got all three for like £8 each. Well good. New releases as well. I suppose the packaging came in, like postage and that came into it, but yeah, I bought all three, and bit by bit I got obsessed. Like not right away. I mean, this was the first one I really got into. We'll get into that in a minute. And I started to learn the other two more as time went on. They didn't jump out at me straight away. But yeah, I'll go straight into the catalogue then, really, and I'll unpack stuff as I go. So yeah, I got that and then picked up other stuff as I went on. So in 1985, I'll skip all the other stuff no one really cares about, but yeah, in 1985 the first album came out, We Have Arrived. Didn't get this till way after then, but I think this might be a bootleg, to be honest. I mean, it looks like it says all over it that it's a promo copy and not for resale. And it's a bit like the first Faith No More album, you know, We Care A Lot. You only ever got that if you happened to find one in a second-hand shop, or once the internet came along, it was a bootleg. Until it being reissued recently, no one got it. And even now, I've never heard of this being reissued or having a proper release. So, is it a demo? I don't know. But obviously, I think Darkness Descends is the first proper album on a proper label. So let me just quickly look it up. Did it come out? Yeah, Axe Killer Records, Test Azra Records, sorry, and then Axe Killer Records. But yeah, alright, maybe it was a real release, but try getting hold of it now in a you know, proper record shop. So the lineup on this is Don Dottie on vocals, Eric Meyer on guitar, Jim Durkin on guitar. They'll be the mainstays in the band. Rob Yon, I think that is, on bass, and Jack Schwartz on drums, who would later go on to form Holy Terror. Although he only did their demo, I think, and a couple of live days. Don't think he was on any of the albums. Might be wrong, but yeah. So this is, let's just say, the foundations are there, but this is a very basic thrash album. You have got, I mean, We Have Arrived stayed in the band's live set all through the career. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse, they even started playing that in their reunion shows a few years back. And Merciless Death would go on to be re-recorded on Darkness Descends. So yeah, if you play Merciless Death on this and then Merciless Death on the next album back to back, that pretty much sums up the album, really. Not bad album. It's a cool thing to have. I'm glad I've got it. And yeah, it's a nice little gem for Dark Angel fans. But if you're new to the band, get this last. That's all. It's yeah, we're a long way from where the band would go on to be, shall we say. So following up in 1986. Now the band obviously get their secret weapon at this point. The almighty Gene Hoglan. Gene Too Fast My Ass. I can't say that in an English accent. I have to do it in American. Otherwise it's Too Fast My Ass, and it sounds, don't sound right, is it? So yeah, Gene Hoglan joins the band on this point. Same lineup as before, apart from that, and this is fucking fantastic. One of my all-time favourite albums, and I'm willing to, you know, put my knob on the table and say this is the best thrash metal album. Yes, that includes Raining Blood. Yes, that includes Bonded by Blood. Don't care. I didn't say it's the best, it's my favourite. But no, I'd put this up against any of your favourite thrash albums. It's just relentless. 35 minutes and it's just non-stop, and every song is just a killer. The opening with that wall of feedback, then bam, 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 you know, and then it just kicks in with the singing. The city is guilty, the crime is life, the sentence is death, darkness descends. So no, Anthrax weren't the only band to sing about Judge Dredd. The opening track is about Judge Death. Burning of Sodom. There's plenty of black metal bands that'll tell you Burning of Sodom was one of their favourite songs that I like to rehearse back in the early days. Hunger of the Undead, another one. Merciless Death, one of my favourite songs. Just that. Sorry, I nicked my shoulder. That opening Steve Harris-esque bass, and then just the way the guitars just. The way they just brush the guitars in the background, building up during that intro, it's just so atmospheric, and it's just a fantastic song. It's just when it kicks in, it's just pummeling, and just that chorus, you know, we will give you merciless. Just Don's vocals on this album as well, and then it goes like higher, we are merciless, death, you know, fucking awesome. Death is certain, life is not. Another pummeling track, Black Prophecies, then the awesome Perish in Flames. Oh, it's only 7 tracks, for God's sake, but it's just once it starts, it doesn't stop. It's just absolutely punishing. And yeah, 35 minutes, 7 tracks, and it's just phenomenal. One thing I've got to say that set apart Dark Angel to other thrash bands, they did genuinely sound dark. There was something dark and atmospheric about these albums. As much as they were frantic and punishing, as much as every other thrash band was, just the black thing there, there was just something dark and sinister about Dark Angel. There was an atmosphere there, and if you look at, you know, the album covers, they do, like, especially the way the size of these, they look like videos that you get in a video shop in the horror section. I mean, they look like 80s album covers. I just noticed the Dark Angel logo in there. That's weird. But anyway, yeah, Darkness Ascends, fantastic album, and yeah, one of my all-time, my favourite thrash metal album of all time, and one of my favourite albums of all time, regardless of genre. Definitely up there. And things get weird actually, because as much as I'd say this is thing, I don't actually necessarily think it's Dark Angel's best album. Does that make sense? I think some albums are best for someone who hasn't heard a band, or might be a best album for a genre. But if you're just looking at a band's back catalogue, an album that might be best to start with or best to represent a point in history, another album might be the band's best album, if that makes sense, if you take everyone else out of context. So I think that makes sense. Anyway, I've got some vinyls down here as well. I might show you them afterwards. I'll go through the catalogue first and then I'll show off what I've got afterwards. So moving on, 1989 they released their second album, Leave Scars. I'll just go through the lineup. I think it's pretty much the same lineup. No, right, we've got a new bass player, Mike Gonzalez joins on bass, and this is where they unleashed a new vocalist, Ron Reinhardt, and I think this is their classic lineup. Just as much as Gene Hoglan was the upgrade and became like the ultimate drummer, I think Ron Reinhardt became their quintessential vocalist. That's a really cool photo of him there. Crowd surfing. He was kind of like the prototype George Corpsegrinder in a way. When George has that, that awesome photo of him there. He come out. He was not like a professional bodybuilder, but he looked like he lifted weights. He looks quite stocky. He came out and just fucking headbanged, and he had that imposing presence that Corpsegrinder has. When he just comes out and he's just, the photos there, and that's another thing as well. I think Dark Angel are prototype death metal. There's a bunch of bands you could round off, but I think these are probably the first band that you could point to where you had thrash metal and death metal. I think Dark Angel bridged that gap. They certainly had the atmosphere. They might not have had the vocals of death metal, but they certainly had the riffs, and they certainly had the atmosphere. Absolutely, they did. And a bunch of death metal bands would, Cannibal Corpse's first ever show was opening up for Dark Angel. I mean, I think that's pretty, representative of the. So, again, right. So the band just pick up from where Darkness Descends lifts off, and I think they up the ante on a lot of levels, on the playing, on the intensity. Death of Innocence, again, the gates just open and we hit the ground running. Never to Rise Again, fucking fantastic song, just absolutely punishing. No One Answers, another one. Again, it's just absolutely brutal. It's just Cauterization is a 7-minute instrumental, and again, it's just tight as hell. It's just all over the place and technical. The technicality definitely is up the ante on this. I think another thing to note as well is when I said Darkness Ascends was 35 minutes, this is 50. So you got an extra 20 minutes of music, and I think that says a lot too. Immigration Song, terrible cover. Even though it's even just 1 minute and 48 seconds. When I put this on my phone, podcast or whatever you got, I always delete the song. It just pisses me off. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Yeah, that's the only thing wrong with it though, really. Promise of Agony, that's another live favourite. Yeah, Agony! I'm a study in despair, I'm in for the dance, I'm in agony! That's fucking awesome. And Leave Scars as well. I mean, that was a set opener for quite a while as well. But yeah, classic songs on this, and this and Darkness Descends, it's kind of like Terminator 1 and 2. Terminator 2 is obviously bigger, bolder, more fireworks, better effects, bigger action, but that sort of gritty, sort of primitive atmosphere, just that grittiness of the first one was lacking, and I think the first one had sort of an atmosphere that the second one didn't quite have. It, you know, what the first film sort of described, you sort of pictured it in your head, and I don't know what I'm saying, but I think yeah, they are neck and neck really, and I think some of the better songs are on this, but the overall album, Darkness Descends, is better. But yeah, like the fact that it's not got Never to Rise Again, No One Answers, or Promise of Agony, they could have easily been on Darkness Descends. But yeah, still a phenomenal album. Take that shitty cover off, and maybe, you know, a couple of songs maybe shorter here and there, but never really bothered me. And the Cauterization, that is a really cool instrumental actually. Is there another one actually? I think this was like a small, no. Yeah, Worms, that's another one as well. So you've got two instrumentals on this. I knew there was another one. I was sitting there stumbling for a little bit and I'm forgetting something. But no, yeah, Worms, another really cool, nice little atmospheric one. And then yeah, who is it? One of the guitarists leaves at this one. I think it's is it Jim Durkin leaves after this? They put out a live album, which I might as well show you that now. Yeah, so they put out this live album, Live Scars, really good live album, awesome set list, recorded in 1989. This is recorded in America. It was a lot shorter to begin with. I think this is a reissue with some extra tracks. But yeah, it's the best tracks from, I think that sums things up quite nicely. Is there any other cool photos here? Yeah, one of Ron there. I've got. He must have been an influence on Corpse Grinder, man. Just look at his presence and he's just like his demeanour. I was going to save this to the end, but fuck it, I might as well show you now. I picked this up as well on Discogs a few years ago. This has definitely got to be a bootleg. We have arrived over Belgium. Now this is actually also 1989. This is actually playing in the background now, so the CD's not in there. Now, my mate Howard, who you all know, sings in Acid Rain, he toured with Dark Angel and Nuclear Assault, and this is recorded on that tour. Now, Ron explains in between songs that a couple of them were arrested, and Nuclear Assault's bass player has to sort of step in, so most of the set on this is the first album. But yeah, this is in a European tour. Pretty cool story, but I'll cut it short. But a couple of them get arrested, and they had to be bailed out, and how that money was got hold of. I've said too much already. This isn't my story to tell. If you listen to Howard's podcast, Talking Bollocks, you'll know this story. And if you don't know the story, go listen to that podcast, Talking Bollocks, Howard from Acid Rain, because that's not my story to tell, but it is a very, very good story. So, yeah, not a secret, but it didn't happen to me. It happened to him, so let him tell it. And he tells it better than me anyway. So, yeah, two awesome live albums from the same year. So it must be the same tour. And like he says, we didn't play a lot off the new album because what's his name didn't have time to learn it. But yeah, that's the official one, that's the bootleg one. But yeah, both very cool, very tight, full of fury, full of energy, awesome stuff. And yeah, We Have Arrived is on there as well. Also, there's a cover of the band Fear, I Don't Care About You, which is on the next album. I'm wondering, this next album comes with a couple of bonus live tracks, and I wonder if they're the same. Who knows? But yeah. Right, I'm getting a bit, don't know where to put stuff. Right, so next we have a new guitarist coming to the fold, and it is now, what the last one was 1989, we are now in 1991, and we have a new guitarist, Brett Erickson. And yeah, 1991, they unleashed this masterpiece. Time Does Not Heal. Now, it is a masterpiece, and in fact, let me just grab something. I've got something pretty cool down here. I'll show you the vinyl in a minute, but I kept something in here. Here it is. I getting bored on Amazon, eBay, and trying to, you know, buy a load of shit that I don't need. I buy a load of posters, and I picked this up. This is the original press poster from this album. Now, I needed this for the what I'm about to say. It's 9 songs, 67 minutes, and a skull-scrambling 246 riffs. Now, a lot of people don't like this album for that reason, and that's a shame, because let me just go through the because there's a lot to be said here. Right. Is that too much? Shit. And there's Ron and cool group photo there. We got yeah. It's a shame, because what this album gets slated for is exactly what other albums get praised for, and I don't really get the difference, because yeah, the songs are really long on this, it's got to be said, but it don't matter, because the songs are really good. Now, I will be the first to admit, it's not that I didn't like the album when I first heard it, but it did take me a lot of years to wrap my head around it. There was a lot there, and yeah, with the, well, it's over an hour long, so when you think about it as well, so you got Darkness Descends, 35 minutes, Leave Scars, 50 minutes, this album, an hour and 7 minutes. There's, I think there's fucking B-movie horrors that are long, that are shorter, but so you do get a lot of music, and yes, the songs are a lot more technical. Well, they're not technical, they're not like all over the place, like, you know, they haven't gone like Atheist or some, you know, they haven't gone proggy or anything like that. There's just a lot going on in these songs, and you need to listen to the songs quite a few times for them to make sense. And I think it was released in 1991, so I think people were getting a bit tired of thrash at that point. And I just think people just didn't show a lot of patience to it, really. But there's a lot of albums like this that do get praised, so the people that slate it the loudest probably wouldn't like it anyway, and the people that would like it don't seem to know that much about it. So that's what I want to go into, really, because yes, it's more technical, but it's still it's more heavy, it's more brutal, it's more melodic, it's got everything. It's just so much going on in the album, and it really does rewards repeated listens. I mean, spend a good month with this album on repeat, and seriously, there's so much good stuff on this that comes out here. And what was I going to say? Yeah, it became that album. Do you ever have that album where it's not really your favourite album in a band's catalogue, but you're kind of so sick? I think like this applies to Divine Intervention a lot with Slayer. I think you just get so pissed, like, so, you know, you tire yourself out on all like the mainstream, or, you know, the obvious albums, or maybe the new album, and you go, I want to listen to whoever, but I don't want to listen to that again. I fancy something different. And then you get an album that you just, I'm going to listen to it because I listen to it the least, and I just fancy something different. And that's how this was always the album I would play if I just fancied something different, because although I always remember enjoying it, but not quite remembering anything about it, if that makes sense. And over time, I think it became my favourite album. I do think, as much as I said Dance Ascends the best Thrash album, one of the best albums ever, I think condensed, just talking about Dark Angel, over time this has become my favourite Dark Angel album. For those reasons, I've ended up just taking to it more and more over the years. So things dramatically changed at the beginning. So, you know, the first two albums kind of explode into life. This one starts with a, I don't know if it's acoustic as such, but a clean riff. So it just starts with the guitar. And I don't know if it's acoustic or not, or if they're just playing clean. I don't know what it says, but then it just kind of builds up into this atmosphere. And then it just kind of, when it finally does arrive, yes, the frantic drumming and the frantic riffing is there, but Ron's vocals have stepped up a notch. Now, I've seen a few people slam Ron's vocals on this album, and I don't know why. I mean, you know, I think they're alright. He's certainly a lot more melodic in this one, and he's singing and hitting more notes. He's trying to sing on this album, but you know, many a thrash metal singer, none of them are fucking, you know, Bruce Dickinson. I mean, yeah, you might get the odd one like Joey Belladonna or someone like that, but they didn't need that in this album. This is a dark, heavy band, and they needed a dark, heavy singer who's doing a bit of melodic singing on this, and I think it works well. But during that chorus, let me try and find the lyrics. When he gives it, time does not heal. The things that, yeah, time does not heal the scars that burn me in my youth. But when I was young and lived in fear, the hands of doom forever drawing near. I wonder how I learned to persevere. During that thing, the riff during that, it's fucking practically, it's borderline fucking black metal, and borderline, not full on. But yeah, again, that it's just got like 1 foot in death metal as well. We haven't fully gone over the line yet, but this had a lot more influence on death metal bands than I think it did a lot of thrash metal bands. But yeah, definitely a different song from what they've done before. But yeah, let me go through some of these times as well. I think the shortest song on here is 6 minutes 10 seconds. Oh no, the last track's 5 minutes. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, we've got 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. These are all very long albums, so very long songs. So it's going to be hard for me to sort of pick out little bits and guide you through the songs. I'll just have to go through it. But Pain's Invention Madness. There you go, I got it. Very good song. Again, after the opener, it just kind of kicks things on nicely. But again, loads going on, loads of madness, really. Act of Contrition is my favourite. That when it kicks in, that such a dark riff, such a good fucking song. Your New Priesthood. Well, let's go. You know, it's a bit of an hard one because there's so much going on, and the songs are so long. I'm trying to think of hooks. But what I will say is the songs, they very rarely repeat. They do, but not often. So the choruses don't appear that often. So a song like Your New Priesthood, or is it Psychosexuality? Let me just grab the lyrics. Hold on, sorry. That I don't want your flesh, I'm not your whore. I think that might be Inherited Shame, actually. Let me just quickly look it up. It's yeah, sorry, Inherited Shame and Your New Priesthood. Say the two choruses. One's the sung one on Your New Priesthood. We are your new priesthood. They're like your anchors. It's like, right, we've come round. We're still on the same song, sort of thing. It's like, and then you're let out again into the track because it just goes through so many different levels. But again, stick with it because it does it does reward repeated listens. It's worth investing your time in. I think as well, Psychosexuality and Trauma and Catharsis, those two songs definitely remind me of Nile. The opening riffs, the opening melodies definitely remind me of something Nile would do, especially on the opening tracks of their albums. I can't remember off the top of my head trying to sing the thing to you now, but if you look up those two songs within the first minute or so, you'll know exactly what I mean. Subtle Induction as well. That's an odd one. That reminded me. It kind of opens up with this. It reminds me of Jimi Hendrix. What was that song? Fuck, I can't remember what the song's called. But you know, yeah, just the way the guitar is. That reminds me a little bit of Jimi Hendrix. But yeah, you see the influence when you listen to Dark Angel. There's little bits here, little bits there, where you think, yeah, maybe that band took from that. You know, Malevolent Creation, definitely on their first album, Ten Commandments. That is basically just a fucking Dark Angel album. I mean that in a good way as well. I love that album. But yeah, like I say, a few other bits as well remind me of Nile. But yeah, crying shame that this band split up. And I think it didn't. In a lot of ways, though, the fact that they just did 3 albums and then just stopped, and there was a bit of like a mystique that surrounded them. And obviously, they never went groove, they never went melodic, they never sold out. They just did 3 very dark, atmospheric albums, and then nothing. And then obviously, Gene went on to this has gone all fuzzy again, and I think that's why they were received so well when they did reform, because people were hungry for them and they had never been sort of stained with time. But you take the 3 album covers as well, they do have that kind of 80s horror film. They look like 80s horror film movie posters, and they have that kind of, yeah, like that dark atmosphere of an 80s horror, or like a dark thriller. Like there's something about that Time Does Not Heal album cover, just that darkness of the street lights. Yeah, you got a logo on this one. It's just, yeah, it just looks cool, and they sound how the album cover looks. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it. It's just something about it. It's just got that grit, that darkness, that sinisterness. It's, you know. And especially on the last album, there's songs about abuse, and it's not like, you know, you know, it's about the psychological abuse. It's that dark cloud over you. It's the atmosphere of when someone walks into a room and you're walking on eggshells, or you know, someone you're going to have to deal with at some point, and you're dreading seeing them or being around them, and you know it's inevitable. The dreaded inevitability. I think it picks up on that as well. It's yeah, it's very fucking cool, and I think everything by the band has aged wonderfully. It's aged like wine, really has. So yeah, that's Dark Angel. They finally reformed. Fuck it, a lot longer than I think. Actually, I'd said a couple of years ago, but no, 2013. Yeah, longer than bloody hell. It's been nearly 10 years. Still no new album. Gene, just fucking do it. I know you're being paid a load of money to tour in a load of other bands, but come on, man. Don't tell me this isn't going to sell and it's not going to be massive and you're not going to do a massive tour off the back of it. Just fucking do it. We all know we're waiting for you. Hopefully during this lockdown he's had time to record. But in fact, I would have said originally, don't do it, because don't ruin the legacy. But nah, Acid Rain did it, Exalder did it, Nocturnus did it. Last year there was a load of albums by bands that it was the first album after Reunion, and it was all a bit, oh, not sure. But no, they all did it. They all put out great albums, so I'm optimistic. So, right, here's one. I'm going to show you a few other bits now. That's the thing done. But well, I showed you the live albums. I showed you that cool little bootleggy thing I got. I picked this up for a £5 on eBay. fair enough, you can see it on YouTube, but I thought it was cool. That's a cool photo. What was this recorded in? Doesn't say, or it does say, I just can't see it. But you got DAM and Candlemas and Dark Angel. You got 4 songs from DAM, 5 songs from Candlemas, and Hammersmith Apollo. There you go, 1989. Surely that would have been the Nuclear Assault and Acid Rain. I thought that would have been in. Maybe that was just for Europe. Howard would be able to fill me in on that. But anyway, Hammersmith Odeon, man, that was a fucking big venue. That was they were big back in the day. But yeah, Leave Scars, Burn the Sodom, Never to Rise Again, Death of Innocence, Merciless Death, and We Have Arrived. Yeah, you can see it on YouTube. But yeah, I thought it was a cool thing to pick up. It was only a £5. And I'll go through the vinyls now. Yep, so there's Darkness Descends. I had to, one by one, I got all of these. I thought I'll get one because it's a classic. It's one of my favourites. And then bit by bit, I ended up getting all of them. Cool poster there. Again, like, how Evil Dead is that? Man? Like, it's just awesome. And just like the, you know, the front cover of a, that don't mean nothing, does it? But front cover of a video, you know what you're in store for. Well, you knew what you were in store for when you see that. It drums up that perfectly. Cool. Couple of gig posters there. It's on purple, and I think the album I'm playing in the background's finished. Shows you how long I've been rabbiting on. And do you know what, I'll put all these back together later, otherwise it's going to take up more time. Leave Scars. This isn't a reissue or anything, this is like an old one, I think. Yeah, standard black vinyl. Under One Flag. Again, fantastic album cover, fantastic artwork, beautiful colours, and yeah, a very dark, sinister image for a dark, sinister album. Really awesome photos, fantastic. Such a good band. And yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this band for a long time with you all. So yeah, leave me your comments. What do you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Did it something I say that you miss? Did I miss something out? Did I, you know, this is your channel as much as it is mine, you know. Talk to me, people. But yeah, another again, man. If I had Nightmare on Elm Street along the front there, up top there, you'd think it was. This is a recent reissue. Oh shit. I think this was what they called. There's nothing on the inside there. What are they called? Back on Black. Yeah, they get mixed reviews. Them. Don't really know a lot about it to really. I'll show you that one more time. That was a cool thing to have. And oh, we've got this one as well. This is a. I got this on Hell's Headbangers, and yeah, I'm pretty much guessing that this is a bootleg. But yeah, Hunger of the Undead. This was recorded live on the band's many reunion shows. I'm not sure which one. Let's see if it says. This is limited edition. 500 copies. I've got 121. Yeah, recorded live at the Metal Fest Arena, Movie Star, Chile. So that's cool. And this was on the radio as well, apparently. So maybe one of them, maybe the company put it out. I don't know. So standard black vinyl. You want to see the? Oh, this looks cool. You've got the flag there. What they normally do. So that's your standard band logo, and then whatever country they're in, they change to the flag. and that's the t-shirts they sell, whatever country they're in. I've still yet to see the band live. I'm dying to see them. The only time they've ever played in the UK since the reunion has been festivals, and I generally don't go to them. I went to a couple back in the day, but I just find them all to be a bit of a pain in the arse. I'd rather just go see a show, and I've just been waiting for that really, and yeah, who knows when they're going to kick off again. But I'll show you this as well actually, fuck it, while we're here. As you can see, I've got a bunch of posters and other cool bits. Maybe I'll do a tour one day, show you it all, but just up here, I took it down. Again, I picked this up on eBay for next to nothing, and then got it framed with everything else. And yeah, because it is one of my favourites. You see that? Pretty much. It's a gig poster. I love that photo of the band. I think they look cool as fuck in it, and awesome logo there. And yeah, they played Darkness Descends in its entirety. How cool was that? So they would have been on stage for half hour. But yeah, watching them live and playing that, or playing any of the albums in full would have been amazing. So yeah, I got that, and it's up with everything else. I thought it was a really cool poster. So, and like I say, it's one of my all-time favourite albums. So I thought a nice little bonus. So yeah, that's it. Dark Angel. Tell me what you think. Have you checked them out yourself yet? Are you gonna? Off the back of this, I hope you do. Are you a long-time Dark Angel fan? Put your 2 pence worth in. Tell me what your favourite album is. Tell me how overrated you think that one album is, or underrated that one is. Now I'm wrong about that one, and your favourite's this one. Tell me. Talk to me. But yeah, I'll see you all soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, guys. See ya.